Does your personal reality create your personality? Or does your personality create your personal reality? So then your brain is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a reflection of your external environment. It's an artifact from the past of all the things you've learned and all the things that you've experienced. It's wired or mapped in your brain. So if you wake up every morning and you get out of bed on the same exact side as you did the day before, and then you shut your alarm clock off with the same finger, and then you slip into your favorite slippers and you shuffle into the bathroom, and then you get up and you walk over to the mirror and you look in the mirror to remember who you are, and then you get in the shower and you wash yourself in the same routine way as you always do, and then you dress yourself and groom yourself to look like everybody expects you to look. And then you go downstairs and you have your breakfast the same as you did the day before, and you drink coffee out of your favorite mug. And then you drive to work in the same routine fashion, in the same route. And then you get to work and you do the things that you can memorize and do so well. And then you see those same people that push the same emotional buttons. And then you hurry up and you go home, and you hurry up and you eat. And you hurry up and check your email, and then you hurry up and watch your favorite television show, and then you hurry up and go to bed so you can hurry up and do it all over again the next day. Now here's my question. Did your brain change at all that day? We could say that you were thinking the same thoughts, performing the same actions, living by the same emotions, but secretly expecting your life to change. So then, as you go to the same place and see the same people and do the exact same thing at the exact same time as you did the day before, we could say that it's your external environment that's turning on different circuits in your brain, causing you to think equal to everything that you know. And as long as you think equal to everything that you know, everything the same, and you told me that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, so you're thinking equal to your environment. So we could say then that it's your personal reality that's creating your personality. And it's your environment that's causing you to think and feel equal to everything that you know. So then you would have to agree with me then, to change is to be greater than your environment. To be greater than the conditions in your world, to be greater than the circumstances in your life. And every great person in history knew this. They all had a vision. They had a dream. Couldn't see it, couldn't smell it, couldn't taste it, couldn't feel it. But it was alive in their mind. It was so alive in their mind that they began to live as if that future reality was happening in the present moment. So then, can you believe in a future that you can't see or experience with your senses yet? But you've thought about enough times in your mind that your brain is literally changed to look like the experience has already happened. Neuroscience now says it's absolutely possible. So can you fall in love with the future potential that exists in the quantum field and emotionally embrace that future reality before it's made manifest? So much so that your body, as the unconscious mind, begins to believe that that future experience is happening to you in the present moment, and you begin to signal new genes in new ways that your body begins to change to look like the experience has happened. Epigenetics says it's possible. So if your brain and body are physically changed to look like the experience has already happened, relax. Because the experience is going to find you. And it's going to come in a way that you least expect. Now, why would it come in a way that you least expect? Because if you can expect it, it's nothing new. It's got to catch you off guard, and it's got to rock your world, and it's got to leave no doubt that what you did inside of you produced some result outside of you. And when you can correlate what you did inside of you that produced some event outside of you, you'll pay attention to what you did and you'll do it again. And when the experience finally shows up and you're caught up in the emotions of the experience, those new emotions then inspire you and drive you to believe that it's possible. And you begin to build a neurological network that convinces you now that somehow you have a hand in your destiny. So then, if you accept this paradigm, just in the littlest way, then you would have to agree then that the quantum model of reality says that your environment is an extension of your mind. That mind and matter are so intimately related, it's almost impossible to distinguish them apart. So if your environment is an extension of your mind, and you truly change your mind, shouldn't there be evidence in your life? I mean, why else would we do it? Shouldn't there be something happening outside of you because of the change you made inside of you? Now, when we embrace the concept of change, you know, if you're no longer going to think the same way or act the same way or feel the same way, you're not going to make the same choices that lead to the same behaviors, that create the same experiences, that produce the same emotions, that make you feel like who you are. The moment you begin the process, you step into the river of change. Now here's the old self, and here's the new self, and there's a void between the two. And when people begin the process of change, the moment they're no longer going to think like themselves, the moment they're no longer going to act like themselves, complain or blame or make excuses or feel sorry for themselves or judge other people, and the moment they are going to stop the emotions that keep redefining them, they just put their foot in the river. And now here's the problem. The moment that happens, it begins to feel uncomfortable. It begins to feel unfamiliar. It begins to become unpredictable. And all of a sudden, you're in the unknown. And this is the moment where people define themselves. Because the hardest part about change is not making the same choice as you did the day before. And the moment you begin to inhibit those thoughts, choices, behaviors, experiences, and emotions, the body is craving the payoff, which is the emotion that you've become to define as yourself. And now the body's not getting that familiar feeling, and it starts to send a signal back to your brain. And those thoughts are the body as the mind, as you'll learn, trying to unseat you. And if you listen to that voice as if it's true, that voice, that thought will lead to the same choice, which will lead to the same behavior, that will create the same experience, that will produce the same emotion, and you will say, this feels right. No, that feels familiar. Crossing the river of change is the biological, neurological, chemical, hormonal, addictive, genetic death of the old self. It is a literal dying of the old self. The best way to predict your future when you're in the unknown is to create it. And only when you are in the unknown, when you are in that void, if you can begin to become comfortable with it, that the magic happens. So then, we invest enormous amounts of energy in building an identity that's connected to the old self. And where you place your attention is where you place your energy.